you. I mean, they're always lying to you. If I could get in so much trouble for just telling the truth. Cause remember when gangster rap was so motherfucking politically incorrect? When somebody would like lose their deal if they cursed and shit. Now what somebody would lose their deal for? If they tell the truth. So that means they all been lying to you. They've been lying to you.
See, I'm not one of them niggas that know a lot about a little. I know a little about a lot, bitch. I might not be the brightest candle on the cake, but bitch, I'm lit.
A Buddha.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna be.
Bitch on the ride on my back like a Mustang. I got a watch on my wrist, is a bust down. See ya. I'm tryna hop on a flight out of town. See ya. But I send my baby to bring it around. See ya.
Yo, 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 it's your boy Like Buddha Mike back at it again with another TikTok live reaction. Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Click that notification bell, get every notification.
My friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet?
Let's get it. First one.
Did you know Jeffrey Epstein visited the White House during the Clinton administration 17 times? And of those 17 times, they had something going on in the itinerary for the White House to do with children. I have a video that I did a couple years ago going into a deep dive about all of Epstein's visits and exactly what was going on at the White House.
Intriguing.
They made the Cherokees march across from fucking Georgia, which was headquarters for them, all the way across to Indian Territory. Stay with me. What was considered Indian Territory? Oklahoma. Now once you understand that Oklahoma is where they shipped all the Cherokee to, then you'll understand how the fuck we end up starting Black Wall Street in Oklahoma. Those were all the Cherokee. But they tell you in history that the Cherokee was these red motherfuckers. So when you see the people from Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, you see black people, you like, oh, but them black Africans. No. Them the Cherokee and the descendants of the motherfuckers who had to walk the Trail of Tears. Nigga, go Google it. The Trail of Tears, they made motherfuckers walk from Georgia and Alabama on foot, Louisiana, all the way across, nigga, to Oklahoma on foot. It's called the Trail of Tears, nigga, because a lot of us died trying to walk in that shit. Got a nigga walking 19 states. So when you understand how they got us out of our land, you see how deep the shit go.
Once you see how deep it goes, then you start taking the rabbit holes. Those even go deeper.
The higher that you go up, the colder it gets. We all know that. The higher that you go up, the colder it gets. I'm like, well, if the sun is as hot as it is, why is it the fact that the higher you go up, the colder it gets? Turns out that the sun rays are not actually hot. Stay with me. Stay with me. The sun's rays are not actually hot because heat is a result of the energy, which is the light energy from the sun being absorbed. And then that is the process of the creation of heat. The absorption is what creates the heat. Our land is absorbing the energy from the sun, and that is giving off heat. When you are up in the air, it is colder because there is nothing up there to absorb the light energy that's coming from the sun. So nothing is up there turning it into heat. It's not enough matter up there to turn to that is absorbing to turn that energy, that light energy that we get from the sun, into heat. So essentially, if you were invisible and you went up there and sat next to the sun, if you were invisible to the sun's rays, you would not burn, because the energy from the sun needs to be absorbed in order for you to heat up. So if you were invisible and you sat next to the sun, you would not burn, because the sun's energy cannot be absorbed and turned into heat. So that's why. Plasma is a different story. Don't mess with no plasma though. The plasma is a different story. I ain't saying that. And then about the microwave, somebody had commented about the microwaves. You can put a cup of noodles in a microwave and you take it out and it's boiling, it's burning. You can't even eat it right away, right? But the microwave itself is not hot. The environment isn't hot. You can take that cup of noodles out and then stick your whole face in the microwave, your whole hand, and it's not hot like how it would be on the stove, right? It's not hot because it is the energy absorption. That type of energy, when it's absorbed, it turns into heat. So this is why when you open a microwave, it don't blow heat all in your face. You can literally just that's like this information is, I don't know, like it's there. We just like.
Yeah, we just don't pay attention to it. Don't question, because you were taught not to, right? Right. Angela, happy Sunday. How you doing? Waiting for DJ to get back in the building. Oh yeah, being in the building. What it do? How's everybody going? Yo, DJ 2, there she is. Margaret's here too. Yo, Margaret in the building. Thank y'all for coming through. Yo, appreciate it. Let's get right back to it. Do it. Nothing to it but to do it.
Okay, TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. I want to talk more about Summerland and the perpetual twilight that they have on the other side of the pupil. So in the other videos, I described that we live inside of the lens of the eyeball, but in Summerland, you can actually enter into the other side of the pupil if you will go to the north and go through, which is General Admiral Byrd had actually done this, where he went through the center, and this is actually going through the pupil. And when you're going through the pupil, it's like, this is where the light is coming from, right? From Summerland. And in Summerland, or the other side of the pupil, the dragon has its eye closed, right? But if you take a flashlight and you close your eyes and you put the flashlight right in front of your eyes, you're going to see light still, right? So in Summerland, the light is 24 hours a day. There's never nighttime. You know what I'm saying? So in that realm, it's perpetual twilight. It's 24-hour light. And it's like as if a light is shining through our eyeball. And this is the same light that is coming through our realm to give us daylight. And so we're only receiving a portion. Now, the light that's in Summerland is way higher than the light that we have here. That's why the creatures are bigger. It's ionizing energy. It's too much ionizing energy. And all the creatures are bigger. The ants are bigger. The birds are bigger. There's still dragons there. There's big ass apes there. They're showing you in the movies what's happening on what you're calling inner Earth is actually the surface of our world. So if the Anunnaki did come to Tiamat, more than likely they came from the outside in, so they probably came from the other side of the realm. That's why there's probably still Elohim and the Galactic Federation and Argartha and all these damn golden cities, Shambhala, all these cities that they're saying are there, because this is where the origin started from. This is the front side of the eyeball. You see, this is probably how we even got to this part of the lens, because if we're living inside a dragon, how we get here? So we must have came from another place. You see, in Summerland, we must have came from the surface. and we probably came here and created this realm, and then we're invaded on the surface world, and then they came into this part of the world. We don't know, because we're being separated from the actual true history of what the hell's going on. We're only getting part of the story. We don't know what happened in Summerland. We just know it's there. You know, they show us in all these movies like Avatar, you know, where they're showing that they're going to another place, but more than likely they're just going down there, where there's a whole another realm down there, and they have their own dome. You know, the Corny has their dome. You know what I'm saying? So they have perpetual twilight there. It's 24 hours daylight, and the time moves different there. You know, the elite militaries and the rich and wealthy around the world know about these interests. They've been knew about them, and they probably go there to monitor what's going on the surface all the time. But for us, being the macro to the micro, it's going to be hard for us to colonize such a vast kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Man, I love being in the sun, sweating it out from my yard, or just sitting in the chair. Nice. Good to have that. Yard work is important. I get them veggies. I get the fruit mostly, though. Vegetables ain't that important. They're fake. They don't
I
want
guess you're wondering where I've been. I searched the world to find a friend. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you.
Oh, yeah. Guess he can't let go. So, whoa, he's on something, yeah.
Am I the only one that has noticed since CERN has went offline the changes that have happened? I mean, the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia is now all of a sudden back. Chick-fil-A is now C-H-I-C-K again instead of C-H-I-C. Bob Dylan is back and alive for some reason after CERN shut down. But one that has me really tripping out is Bewitched. Now I'm a Gen X. I watched Bewitched growing up with my parents, but if you remember, she twitched her nose and made things happen. Now she moves and twitches her mouth. The Energizer Bunny, have you seen the new Energizer Bunny mascot? That thing is creepy as all get out. Time has slowed down again. Remember, time was going by really fast. Things were accelerated. Now time has eased back. And I have talked to people that are reporting no more lucid dreams, no more headaches. Can we just keep CERN off, like, for good?
Back. Yo, what up, Jeremy? Mad Labs in the building. What you talking about, DJ?
There's something beside the sun. Watch as I zoom up. You can see the sun, the great big bright light, and you can see in the center, you see right next to it, there's like a round circle. It's a solid circle. But when that sun rises, it literally overshadows the thing beside it, and you can't see it no more. See what it does? Watch what it does. You can't see it.
So they got something up there with the sun. Maybe it's the second sun, yeah? Maybe it's the second sun. Never know. Right.
I need you all to remember, no fear. There's about to be a collapse of the old system while they're bringing in the new. During this time, things are going to get a little shaky. I need you to know that everything is going to be all right. I also need you to make sure that you are still prepared. Have a little bit of extra food and water for your family to sustain for a little while. When this system crashes, a lot of people are going to crash out. You all wanted the veil lifted? It's been lifted. It's just some of you are still standing behind the curtains. The wizard has exposed himself. For instance, if any judge finds one lie in your testimony, your entire testimony is null and void and no longer good. Charlie Kirk's situation. How many lies have you spotted? The veil has been lifted. Have you taken the blinders off of yourself?
Have you? That's the question. Are you seeing the truth now? Because it's out there. You just have to pay attention. Paying attention is very beneficial to us right now.
Baby, that lady that was standing behind Trump in the Oval Office yesterday on Monday, July 6th, when he was announcing the Trump accounts and talking about he's #1 on TikTok, as he called it. I think she's the wife of the CEO of Dell. Baby, is that lady okay? Is that lady okay? I think her name is Susan Wells, or correct me if I'm wrong, but is that lady okay? I was looking like, I was like,
side effects of Ozempic.
It reminded me of that scary movie, Annabelle. Is that lady okay? Is that lady okay?
Tell your sister happy birthday from the fam.
Because, baby, she don't look well. I just couldn't figure out if she's okay. It was something about her look seems very off.
Yeah, it's in the eyes. Like they seen death and they're afraid of it.
They're injecting foreign DNA into American pineapples. A furious customer exposed Del Monte's sneaky tactic, patenting every pink pineapple, making it a federal crime to grow them at home.
All the tops are cut off of pink pineapples. You know why? Because it's patented by Del Monte. It's restricted to grow your own pink pineapples. Ain't that some shit?
This pineapple isn't just fruit. It's a chemical clone born in a Del Monte lab. Every pink pineapple started as a single cell in a biotech lab, mutilated in a chemical soup. The same chemistry used in lab-grown meat until it became a repeatable clone. Those clones are planted in chloropicrin-gassed soil, force-ripened with ethafon, releasing the exact gas behind polyethylene plastics. Nearly every pink pineapple scanned Roundup, a herbicide linked to cancer. Comment exposure to scan safer brands.
Hope y'all shop responsibly. Make sure you download that app. Everybody needs that shit. All right. Yeah, when she gets back from Detroit, nice. I wonder if Dow's doing one today. It's Sunday. Doesn't he usually do one today, Angela? Because I gotta go to work tonight at 9, so I'm be try to do one around 10 when I get back home. Shit, let's keep it moving.
Do you have a version of this video that does not have alterations such as zooming or circling? My concern is that if the 1102 says what it says about the videos, these were the videos, right? But then it was altered. And typically an exhibit which has been altered, and if it wasn't done by the person who supplied the 1102, that can become problematic. And so do you have a version of this exhibit that does not have the zooming in or the circling? Again, I don't know all the alterations that were made, but that seems to fall outside the 1102 because you don't have a person testifying 1102 saying I made the alterations. Right. And so that's the concern of the state of what Ms. Nestor was talking about as it relates to the state's evidence. I have that concern about those alterations. I don't know when they were made, what they were made, how much was done to manipulate the video. And I say manipulate to, not saying it in a nefarious way, but I don't know what the scope of that is and how much it deviates from what was the original form.
We have two people who have seen that raw footage and they've explained that's the only difference between what we have originally in the original videos and what you're seeing here today. And the additions, I will submit, Judge, were only added to make it easier to view. Judge, our intent is to prepare an original version of the video that has been in dispute today, without the circles, without the blur, and without the zooming in.
That's what we want. The undoctored, unfiltered, none of that above crap. We want the okay, this the real shit. No that. Keep moving.
Good morning, folks. Welcome, observers. It is Friday, July 10th, 2026, and today we're covering space weather, including the appearance of a telltale sign that solar maximum is ending. We also have a look at major cosmology news from the most distant reaches of the universe and an outstanding electric space energy forcing study, and we're starting with our star in the last 24 hours of the sun. Pretty quiet up there. Solar flaring is diminished. Eruptive activity is low. There are still plasma filaments, but nothing like the super eruption a few days ago. You can also see darkness at the North Pole, and yes, folks, the coronal holes are now returning to their polar homes, at least on the north, which did peak before the south. During sunspot minimum, the coronal holes are locked here at the poles. Only during sunspot maximum, magnetic reversal event and sunspot polarity swap, do those coronal holes migrate down and across the equator. This return of the coronal hole to the north pole of the sun, the opposite polarity coronal hole as last sunspot cycle by the way, shows us that the process of solar cycle decline is begun. We are heading down off the peak, which many people might say is kind of obvious when you look at the sunspot numbers. We are clearly on the down curve now, even if it's happening a bit slowly. Could have another spike up before the end, or we may not. We clearly outperformed last sunspot cycle. No grand minimum here. If one wanted to say that this and the last solar cycle was a mini grand minimum put together, it couldn't really argue by comparison to the grand solar maximum from the 1900s, but that would mean this grand minimum is a weak one so far. Other space weather note hits the solar wind. We expected coronal hole stream impact overnight, and while it did come, look at plasma speed in yellow. It ramped up only to 600 kilometers per second, which is above normal, but nowhere near impressive. No solar storm conditions resulted. The departing sunspot on the right is developing so fast right now, I bet she starts flaring today. Luckily, she's not really pointed at Earth anymore and she's heading for the limb. Meanwhile, that lone large umbra dead center doesn't have anyone to play with. Could be a continuation of space weather quiet here today. First up in the science is the most distant quasars ever found. Quasars are some of the most powerful things this universe knows, trillions of suns of brightness and energy, but if you've heard about the too early problem in cosmology, where galaxies, clusters, and cosmic jets appear too early for the Big Bang timeline to be correct, yeah, these quasars are from 650 million years after the alleged Big Bang, so that's a major problem. Shouldn't be coming together that quickly outside of a plasma-electric universe. And last but not least, folks, the instantaneous forcing is back. We've already seen several studies on shocking, light speed level forcing of solar storms and the lower atmosphere impacts. These are always tied to atmospheric pressure and atmospheric electricity, which is really the only thing that makes sense anyway, since the only pathway this energy has to the troposphere is via the ionospheric excitement leading to amplification of the global electric circuit, up and down through the pressure cells. Folks, this is the last week to get Master the Disaster. Phoenix Rising comes to an end on the 31st. Those, the tickets to our live events, courses, books, resources, and more, all found at suspiciousobservers.org. That is linked below. We'll do this all again tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Let's get that one. That was from yesterday. On the next step. Got it somewhere. Get this one. Then I'll get to that.
I'm gonna give it to you straight. If you don't think this Tyler Robinson thing is even a little bit fishy, your brain isn't working correctly. And I may seem radical, sure. But the fact of the matter is I have more common sense and reasoning skill than most of you. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So why are half the people calling it a goose? You could hide in a dark alley, shoot a random stranger walking down the street with zero motive, and they'd know who did it in a matter of hours. And you can bet your sweet ass that the case they put together against you is gonna be airtight. So why is it that in a case set at a public event with more cameras and microphones rolling than probably anywhere else within a 100-square-mile radius are there so many holes in the story? If it doesn't make sense, it's because you're being lied to. It's like you don't want to believe it. And sure, it's far more comforting to just believe the propaganda, the media, the Fed slop. He sent a text message, but somehow he was already in police custody. The casing didn't match. He disassembled the rifle on the roof and left the screwdriver up there, but reassembled the rifle in the woods. For what reason, I don't know. Oh, and everybody knows that the first thing you do after murdering somebody in cold blood is to text your entire manifesto to your boyfriend. I can think of another time where it should have been pretty cut and dry, but there were just as many questions as there were answers. Does JFK ring a bell? You're free to believe whatever slop you want, people. But my vote is real.
Yeah. Man ain't lying. Free to believe whatever you want. Just no difference between the right discernment. You know what I'm saying? You earned that right. These people try to fuck you over in a big way. Not a little way. A big way. Let's get back to the Joker because he had some more. Wait, matter of fact, that was going back to that.
Good morning, folks. Welcome, observers. It is Sunday, July 12th, 2026, and today we're going to break down a bit of space weather, see the bajillionth study confirming pre-seismic electromagnetic anomalies in the atmosphere, and we've got a fantastic paper on polar motion and Earth's magnetic pole shift. We're starting with our star. In the last 24 hours brought a few solar flares. As forecast, the developing active region right side near the 3 o'clock position released 2 solar flares last night and early this morning. Fast CME emerged from the initial flare. Type 4 radio burst indicates the CME strength matching these X-ray flare spikes here. Moderate duration in the M-class range. Luckily, the CME was aimed away from Earth due to the sunspot position near the limb. And remember, we've got more sunspots incoming this week. Quick stop here at pre-seismic anomalies. This one on electron density in the lower ionosphere and the dramatic changes taking place in the days leading up to the earthquake. With this factor, it is becoming clear that the various other anomalies like critical frequency and localized geomagnetic field disruptions are the shortest-term indications, and this electron density measure is where we can look in the day or two beforehand to begin confirming that rise of atmospheric reaction to the ionic release of stress fracturing below. Top story today is this one. Polar motion and Earth's magnetic field. First and foremost, people like Zacharias and others tracking polar motion as an aspect of the ongoing geophysical event and geomagnetic excursion, congratulations. Looks like they are indeed related. And I'm very glad they tossed this graphic on there showing the annual circles atop the polar motion line, which is presented as smooth, but in fact it is a big circle that moves a bit every year, looping as the poles shift. Then there's this one showing the change in magnetic pole motion speed. We just got done recently showing 3 different ways you can spot a coming surge upward in the curve of the pole shift, and here's another. The wavy hump pattern is already bending back up for another rush now. And the same is about to happen a bit further behind here with the declination change. This one hasn't bent upward yet, but the flattening is over. Top right, forecast to bend up shortly here as well. All roads, all data, all analysis say the next acceleration is coming in the next few years, as if things weren't changing fast enough already. Folks, our first tour event is just 5 weeks away in Seattle. Come out and see us and our special guests as we break down the disaster and the best way to protect your bloodline going forward. Tickets to the live events and more are at suspiciousobservers.org, along with everything to prepare for the Earth disaster cycle. We'll do this all again tomorrow.
So you gotta look out for the 15th, guys. Master of disaster. That's what it is. Our electric company is gonna make billions or something. So is the morgue. I'm not gonna lie. They're gonna make billions too. Selling food to everybody and shit. No, that's how they roll. That's how they roll. Salute. Keep moving.
Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what path others may take, but as for me, give me liberty, or give me death. It's time to realize that voting our way back to freedom is no longer an option. It's time to realize that the system of checks and balances we set into place are no longer checking or balancing themselves. In a world where billionaires can borrow against unrealized gains. In a world where you can't even go to the bank and withdraw all of your money because it doesn't physically exist. In a world that's been fabricated by a bunch of fake ones and zeros. In a world that lets the billionaires manipulate and lets the impoverished suffer. We have one option left, and that's to fight. It's time to do an appall.
Mm-hmm. Don't fall for the dumb. Don't fall for the gumption. Be on the real shit, no assumptions. Ooh.
You want to know what it is? It's not that I could cook an egg on my head in Phoenix, Arizona right now. It's that the dollar store has become proverbial. The value has evaporated from your value meal. It's that the people who are paid by your tax dollars to protect you are just as, if not more, likely to assault and imprison you just because they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. And if it wasn't bad enough that the state's private militia is patrolling the streets ready to ask for your papers at every corner, there's a private company with more funds than you're capable of fighting, putting up cameras and relaying all the information they gather right back to the authorities. Truth of the matter is, you and I have as little power as they want us to. And until we learn to band together, until we understand the power of 10 million no's, we will never have the control back. Listen, they can't take us all, people. I get it, you're safe and you're comfortable. But a vote's not gonna fix this. At least for now, at least in Phoenix, Arizona, everything burns.
At least in Phoenix, Arizona, right? Everything burned. I was going ham with the Joker ones, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I like the guy. Like, if hopefully these ain't reruns.
You want to know how to send a message that they hear? You want to know how to hit them where it hurts? Don't file. At the end of this year, don't file. And then talk all year next year about not filing again. Go to the bank. Withdraw all your cash. Start storing that cold hard asset underneath your mattress or in a piggy bank. Limit what they have to borrow against. You want to see everything crumble? You want to see things up in flames? This is the way to do it. Don't file. Bottleneck their funds. As soon as they realize that they're outnumbered, 1,000 to 1, as soon as they realize that we're willing to do something, we're willing to stand together, they have no choice but to fold. You know, madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Yeah, he ain't wrong, though. He ain't wrong. How long until they push you and you push back? I'm more like a magnet. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't the same as me, I'm pushing you away. You the same? Shit, come together. You know what I'm saying? Move.
You want to know what it is? It's that we, the people, are supposed to hold the power. But do we? Sure, they are supposed to be representative of us, but are they? Are they? Maybe when they start, but once they're in, they're as good as bought and paid for. And that's the problem. Any real representation, any real aspiration of better change is snuffed out by the dollar bill. They become just another agenda hiding, paper pushing, bill passing lunatic. Hiding agendas at the bottom of 1,000-page bills. They know that the average person is never going to read. So, where is our power now? If not in the hands of our representatives, it's in our numbers. And if we aren't going to use them, nothing will ever get done. I mean, what happened? Your balls drop off? A couple hundred years ago, there'd be fires. There'd be anarchy. Upset the established order.
Yeah, just give them a little nudge every now and again. Show them that we exist. Show them who they work for. 'Cause obviously, they forgot. It's not our plan to do this, but that's what they call it. You know what I'm saying? And we're not doing terroristic nature shit. No, none of this is terrorist. Terrorists are from a foreign government. Unless you guys are creating these guys, you know what I'm saying? Which I hope you're not, you know? I hope you're not. Damn, my mask. I need to retake my shit. I hope you're not. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so you got your dog bang. Hey, I'm only trying to protect you from the Joker. You know what I'm saying? That dude goes ham sometimes. I gotta make sure you guys got the plan right. You know what I'm saying? Let's get one more again.
Once upon a time, a tax on tea was the final straw. Once upon a time, an entire country was built on one belief. A belief that freedom was more important than money. There was a point in history, sometime before our balls dropped off, where we all realized the system we built is no longer serving us. So we corrected it. There was a point in time where we spit on the freshly shined boots of anybody who dared to put his foot on our throat. Now it appears we all just sit there and take it like it's some guilty pleasure. There was a time where the system that they built to keep themselves in power still had enough loose ends that we could do something about it. There was a time where voting our way back to freedom still seemed like a real possibility. I'm here to tell you, Gotham, that time is over. Now is time for revolution.
I'm not the op. Like I said, I'm trying to protect you from this guy. This is all for entertainment purposes only. You know what I'm saying? Do your own research. You already know how it go, man. Motherfucker, the Joker gonna get you into the bad predicament, and you ain't gonna be able to get out. You fuck around, might find out. Might find out. Yeah, Luna, Batman. You know you got you got to protect the dome. Gotta protect the dome. These motherfuckers coming for it. You know what I'm saying? They can't manipulate me. Not me.
So they turned CERN off. Am I the only one realizing that it seems that everything I think, I'm starting to manifest? I've thought about so much and it's just happening. I'm at a point right now where I'm scared to think about anything, especially anything negative. You know what I mean? For instance, I think about somebody, I see that somebody, and it's happening like that, okay? And it's just absolutely crazy. And I was just wondering, is this because they turned CERN off that we now have access back to instant manifestation? Because yes, I've been manifesting for a long time. But whenever it instantaneously happens, oh, it's amazing. It's amazing whenever you're in tune and you're manifesting like that. All of your thoughts are aligned and coming out like you're thinking it and then you're seeing it. It's amazing. You get to get ahead of life like that. You get to get way ahead of life like that.
Mm-hmm. Let me take this off. It's starting to give him away. I gotta protect y'all from him. He's gone for the day. You know what I'm saying? a few years back, got an organization organized the gasoline protest for one day with these coworkers. Those chicken shits said no, we need our cars. I was like, buy gas today and you'll be fine. Needless to say, I was dealing with more. Yeah, well, the thing is this, Angela, you got to tell them beforehand how to think. You know what I'm saying? Because these people need somebody to drink for them, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't drink for themselves. So, in order for you to think for them, you have to dumb it down to the most remedial level. You know what I'm saying? Hold the hand and then push the face in. You know what I mean? That's like, because this is the thing. Common, like she said, common sense ain't common. Yeah, they're all adults. Just saying, they're all bots. Angela, these guys are bots. You're working with robots. These people are programmed to do a job so that the machine will function. Remember, they didn't want a population of thinkers. They wanted a population of workers. Mikey, what it do? Cheers, Brody. You know what it is. But yeah, dude, these people don't want us to be on that shit. Just like the Hebrews in the wilderness plain of cried, they'd rather return to Egypt than to do without nothing new under the sun. Yeah. Yeah, that part.
I must be the only one crazy here, but so they turned CERN off. I must be the only one crazy here, but those stars in our sky, right? This is my problem with the heliocentric model, and I can never get a straightforward answer on this, right? Those stars move like not the hour hand on a clock, but the month hand on a clock, because they rotate every 28 days, every moon cycle, month, moon. What I just don't understand is if we're spinning every 24 hours, why the fuck do we see the same fixed star? You're telling me that they spin at the same rotation as Earth, fixed on Earth at all the other planets? For millennia? Do you know the mathematical improbability of that? Like, now, of course, this is Apple phone. They give you the heliocentric model bullshit. Yeah, but it won't let me fixate on the North Pole, by the way, which I find funny. You can fixate on the Antarctica, but not the North Pole, which is interesting. But you see how you rotate this motherfucker, and the stars spin with it? Like, yo, you're gonna tell me that for millennia. For millennia, do you understand? You're telling me that the rotation of the Milky Way galaxy is so precise. It's directly precise with Earth's rotation. Not the other planets, but Earth alone. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense. Peace to God.
I know what he's talking about. Because these things, they're on different levels of the firmament. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, remember this. Was it 7 layers, 7 chakras? Same thing. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to see certain shit, you gotta be certain shit. But I ain't seen stars in so long. They putting too much shit in the sky. Yeah, right, right. They grading the shit out of that shit. But you ain't gonna see them during the day anyway. And the stormy ass nights ain't gonna let you see them. So you need to come here, boogie. Our skies are full of stars. Yeah, you have to get away from the industrial lights and all that shit that people have. Going out into like country, you'd probably be able to see some shit. Not cities. Definitely not cities.
Just got a $1,250 ticket in the mail for having my phone on my lap, face down, and both hands on the steering wheel.
Well, what crime was she about to commit with her phone in her lap? Blunt force trauma to her boyfriend's head? Sounds like we saved a life. Look at this, what flock cameras were able to do. A 3-month-old baby was recovered after abduction. The baby was detected with our flock cameras.
What does the community note say about that?
Local community members claim police stated that flock was not necessary for this case, and it appears flock may be paying news agencies for favorable coverage. Well, I wish they never found that baby.
These are flock cameras meant to read license plates and alert police if they're connected to crimes.
See, that's all they do. Read license plates. Nothing more. Have you seen these guys? They were cutting down flock cameras.
Those are people. I thought you said the cameras are just to read license plates.
Well, they are. We can also use them for anything else. These guys look like they're bipedal hominids. Let me know if you see them. Yeah, we're looking for bipedal hominids cutting down our cameras. So just start arresting anybody that fits that description.
What do you think of this?
Leave flock cameras alone. There's no need to label all the flock cameras in your area. And don't put plastic bags over them either, because all that does is cost the company time and money. Grow up. I know that you can use a $50 high-powered blue or green laser like this one to permanently blind flock cameras, but come on, guys. Why? Definitely do not use the camera map on dflock.org to find cameras, approach them from behind on foot with a spray paint extender, and spray them.
Oh, I think that's great. Finally, an ordinary citizen looking out for flock cameras. Everybody should take his advice. Protect your privacy. Yeah, but people are naive. Flock cameras take your data at a local level, and then from there, the federal government can just easily access it. And do you know who's better at protecting your privacy than you? The federal government. They're very powerful, but they can't protect your privacy unless they have it. We help get that done. Oh yeah, we can see inside people's windows.
The fuck? The fuck? See, y'all invest in these green lasers. I'm telling y'all, man. Get you one of these damn lightsabers. I mean, yeah, just get you a lightsaber, all right, y'all. Get these things. They're on Temu. I don't know. They come with this little, look at USB plug-in. You see that shit? A USB charge plug-in. I could plug this bitch up to my battery right now. Matter of fact, grab this damn battery real quick. See this shit? See this shit? Yeah, yeah. Go all night long, baby. Pew, 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 pew. Fuck they late. Yeah, I'm just saying, y'all don't do that. Just for entertainment purposes only, you know what I'm saying? Don't flock around, you know what I'm saying? Don't flock around. What the fuck am I in? Yeah, don't fuck around with that shit, bro. You go to jail. I think that's Fed time. I'm not sure. It don't look like it's federal property unless they're over there making the shit and not selling it. You know what I'm saying? Then it's our property at that point, right? So I got two right now. I ain't like that though. Yeah, dude, I got a lightsaber, bro. I told you gotta get a lightsaber. But make sure that shit's the strongest one you can get. I'm pretty sure I can light a match with this shit. Think about it sometimes, but I ain't gonna try it. Try this shit on fire. Keep it moving, you know what I'm saying?
Please stop and listen. The bill increasing U.S. and Israel military integration has passed in the House Armed Services Committee 44-12. They passed the National Defense Authorization Act, and buried inside of this mega bill is Section 224. This proposal is going to greatly expand cooperation and integration of U.S. and Israeli defenses. Now, currently, the two countries are already very involved. They're close allies, they share intelligence, joint military exercises, weapons sales and aid programs, and missile defense programs like the Iron Dome. Section 224 inside of this mega bill will greatly expand the range in which cooperation will occur. Joint research, development, and integration of military technology, artificial intelligence and autonomous systems, cybersecurity and cyber warfare capabilities, counter-drone technologies, quantum technologies, directed energy weapons, you remember when we were told those weren't real, and creation of a formal Pentagon office to lead and coordinate these efforts. Now, this amendment moves the U.S.-Israel relationship closer to the military cooperation America typically reserves for its closest allies, like the UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. Now, this has passed the House Armed Services Committee. Now it gets voted on in the House, then to the Senate, and then for the President to sign. I will keep you updated on every step of the way. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Mm, mm, mm. Just saying, man, you gotta get the lasers. Look, I don't recklessly drive. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I'm probably like the most trustworthy person on the road. No, you lie. You lie. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. People fuck up on the road all the time. You know what I'm saying? Worst thing you could do is be looking at a phone or not paying attention to your blind spot. But 9 times out of 10, it's blind spot. So
Even the Charlie Kirk shooting, whether those guys were programmed through radio waves or through their computer, whether they could do mass conversion. We're trying to use psychological means to see how you could influence people's thoughts.
I think we saw it even during COVID, trying to make people believe in something that wasn't there.
Maybe radio waves and drugs are not necessary to control people's minds. We have such a great advertising propaganda, social media, that certain opinions are marginalized.
Well, maybe they just think that people are too dumb to understand.
maybe they should just grow the fuck up, learn how to fucking operate as a human. Stop trying to be a demon. You know what I mean? Because they ain't the life. Not for me anyway.
Were our tax dollars used to assassinate Charlie
Almost
Kirk?
over, y'all.
Hold on. I was sent this by a few people. Charlie Kirk was killed with a miniature explosive, likely made at Accurate Energetic Systems in Tennessee and purchased by the DoD for $425K in May of 2025. You can bet Steve Feinberg was involved in the planning of his public assassination. Well, I pulled all of Accurate Energy Systems contracts from usaspending.gov, and I found this one. This one, the address is in Tennessee. It is for miniature XS demolition devices, anti-personnel, SPM. That's what caught my attention. We're going to come back to that. The amount is $440,494. The procurement period, May of 2025 to August of 2025. So I went and looked up all other procurements because as somebody who has done DoD procurements before, that was a really odd amount of time. None of Accurate Energy Systems procurements were less than a year, except for this one, because that's not how they procure things. I went and did more digging. The contract was signed on April 22nd, 2025. A lot of weird things about this procurement. It was a simplified acquisition process, meaning did it quickly, and it was one bidder. They did not put it under any of the IDVs, which are the vehicles that they have for all the other hundreds of tens of millions of dollars that AES had with them. It gets worse. These devices are made for special operations forces, and the XS anti-personnel are tiny ones to kill people. They're put on people. If you want to get darker, Steve Feinberg, our deputy SecDev, well, his old company, Cerebus, owns the company, I forget the name of it, that trains the special operations forces on these detonation devices. He's the one who put protecting the blue and white country in his priorities as the same as protecting America. So you have a procurement that was signed April 22nd and started May 1st, ended August, for tiny devices to kill people. Forgot to mention that the plant that the address is at, well, it exploded a month after Charlie Kirk's assassination, and everyone in that plant died. No survivors. Correlation doesn't mean causality. I'm a big, big advocate of that. However, something doesn't smell right at all. So if someone knows more or can help me correct some of this or figure out what's going on, let me know, because it doesn't fucking look good. Stay tuned.
That mug is strong as hell. What kind of bumper car rail you got?
So who is this lady on the Starbucks logo? Meet Echidna, the serpent mother of monsters, In Greek myth, she births beings like Typhon, Cerberus, and the Cyclopes. But symbolically, she represents initiation into the mysteries. She's half woman, half serpent, because the serpent has always symbolized the primal force of consciousness. Temptation, instinct, venom, vision. The ancients understood venom not just as poison, but as catalyst, something that alters perception, something that throws the mind into frenzy, what the Greeks called oistros, the raging impulse, the madness, the fury of inspiration. Oistromania is the storm of the mind, the obsession, the vision that captures you, the chaos that possesses consciousness itself. And the initiate must prevail over it. That's the real battle, not against the world, against the tyranny of one's own mind, to master the beast within, to hold awareness steady in the midst of temptation, fear, rage, fantasy, illusion. That's what makes you a seer, a Christ, one who gains dominion over consciousness instead of being ruled by it. The serpent doesn't only represent evil, it represents the force that tests you and transforms you. With the new Odyssey movie coming out, people are revisiting all these ancient Greek myths, but most don't realize the deeper thread connecting the women of the mysteries: Echidna, Medea, Circe, Hecate. These weren't originally just evil witches in the modern sense. They were linked to ancient pharmacology, ritual healing, poisons, venoms, herbs, trance states, and initiation rites. A sorceress in the ancient world was often closer to a pharmacological priestess. Circe uses potions and plants to transform consciousness. Medea is a master of roots, oils, venom, and ritual medicine. Hecate rules crossroads, liminal states, spirits, night rituals, and hidden knowledge. Even Echidna, the serpent mother, symbolizes the primal force behind transformation and initiation. This is where the idea of theriac comes in. Ancient medicinal compounds made from herbs, resins, opiates, spices, and sometimes venom itself. The word therion relates to beasts or serpents. Ancient healer priests believed poison and cure existed on the same spectrum. The venom becomes the medicine when mastered. That's why the serpent becomes such a powerful symbol across the ancient world. Not merely evil, but transformation, altered consciousness, temptation, healing, death, rebirth. The initiate enters the chaos of the mind and must emerge sovereign over it. That's the deeper symbolism behind the sorceress archetype in the ancient mysteries. You can learn more in my new book, Demystified Mysteries, Oracles, and Oils, about the anatomy of initiation, the profit-making oils, ancient pharmacology, serpent symbolism, and the hidden role of the sorceress traditions within the mystery schools.
Okay. We're gonna keep it rolling.
An elevated outer rim encircling all continents, while the North Pole serves as the central point where all compasses align with Polaris, the lone fixed star in the sky.
Smell that shit cooking down.
All right, sir. Here's your stuff back. I'm citing you for speeding. Like I said, it was 65 and a 50.
That's not true, but okay.
You have.
I have my cruise set. I have my cruise set on 54, and I have a dash cam. You see that, right?
All right. So anyway,
that's fine. Okay.
$43 fine, and you have 30 days to take care of it. Thank you.
And you're going to be in court.
Drive safely.
Yeah, he'll be.
If you want to take it to court, I'll be there.
Will you tell the truth in court, or are you going to lie like you're lying now?
Swear to first.
You too, piece of. Go yourself. You. What? What's my deal? Armed men stop me and steal my money? You call that freedom? Are you armed? Or are you stupid?
You talking about us?
Yeah, you! Armed men!
I don't get any of that money.
You don't get any of that money? Where's your paycheck come from?
It doesn't come from citations. It comes from county taxpayers.
Right. I pay you to steal my money, correct?
I didn't take that money. It's not my money.
Who's initiating the theft of the money? The armed men who are stopping me on the road, traveling freely down the road, trying to go about my day. You're going to steal money from my Yeah, just shake your head because you know it's true. It's not true that you are... Hey, buddy. For me, I was going 54 miles an hour. I have my cruise control on. Your guy's a liar. Good cops don't let bad cops do bad things. So you're not a good cop either.
You'll have your data pleaded in court.
Sir, are you kidding me? So the sovereign citizen judge and the sovereign citizen cop who work together all the time, is he going to have evidence I was going that fast, or is he going to be hearsay?
He will.
No, he won't. He'll just say, I saw John and the judge will believe him. Huh? Bro, you're a sovereign citizen. He's a sovereign citizen. You guys violate the traffic law nonstop. I have about 100 videos of you guys violating traffic laws, and you're armed hypocrites coming here with guns trying to steal my money. How come he didn't make me sign it? All of a sudden he realizes what the law is. And he tried to tell me I have to answer his questions. He's a liar. I know I don't have to sign it. He tried to tell me I have to answer his questions. No, I don't have to answer anything. I don't have to answer any questions. You guys are liars. You're a sovereign citizen.
He's trying to make sure that you get your citation. That's all. He's trying to
and I gave him everything he needed, and he insisted I still needed to answer his questions. He's a liar, just like you. Okay. That's what cops say. When cops get cornered, okay.
I don't understand why you're so negative towards law enforcement.
Because law enforcement take human suffering and turn it into cash. You guys don't do anything productive. How is stealing my family's money?
Stole your car today and drove away. Who would you call?
If I called the cops, and they wouldn't do any good.
Why?
Because you, first of all, you rarely recover anything. You rarely prevent any. No, it is true. I'm a police accountability activist for about 20 years now. I've been following you.
How many cases have you followed up on the Hillsborough County District 1 lately?
Hey, how many bad cops have you arrested?
4 for 6 this month.
How many bad cops?
That's the question. How many bad cops have you arrested? Because they still doing it. They still there. They're everywhere out there. Because a bad cop is a cop that's not telling the other cop to stop doing their job the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Good cop is the one who's locking that cop up for doing the job the wrong way. But no, KY be kicking it. Y'all so good. No worries. Having fun, love. Hey, we got 14 likes. Doing good. So we got about like 10 minutes left till Thou goes live. Keep moving till then.
So Corpus Christi, Texas is about to run out of water, literally, and we need to talk about this. Basically, Lake Corpus Christi and Choke Canyon are 8% full, meaning they're 92% empty at this point. And officials and engineers say that by December of 2026, there will be 180 days left of water for this community that serves 500,000 residents. And this is a story about how we have to pay attention to local officials and who we elect, because this has been a problem that's been brewing for decades of bad decisions, most recently over the last 10 years, with local officials courting major industries with ties to the oil industry and then allowing them to use upwards of 80% of all the water. 12 industries alone, 12 companies with ties to the oil industry, use 25% of the water supply every single day. In the meanwhile, the crisis has been handled by putting restrictions on water usage by the residents, and there have been 0 restrictions on any of these industries. And all of this could have been avoided by constructing a desalination plant. But because there was so much infighting between Republicans and Democrats and Abbott and you name it.
And Greg Abbott. A lot of people don't understand, man. They have a plan to make us run out of water, which is weird because isn't that like 70% of what's on the earth? How can we run out of something that is a renewable resource? Why are they trying to make something that's scarcity when it's naturally here? All you guys have to remember is there was the black guy that was working with Julian Brown that makes water out of air. Your refrigerator makes water out of air. Said, oh, damn, I know they be writing tickets left and right. Hell yeah. But we have technologies and shit. We just don't understand how to work with it yet. We will.
The question is, why aren't you allowed to criticize Jews, and why do they control all of our key institutions? My whole campaign is predicated on removing the Jewish supremacists from control of our country, from making it so that our politicians are no longer beholden to Israel, but rather beholden to the American people. I think that they should be removed from power to the point where their representation is proportional to their percentage of the population. And I showed up, and I'm the leading candidate according to the last poll, and they ejected me. And they ejected me because I won't serve Israel.
I think you shouldn't either. You know what I'm saying? He's American through and through. Why the fuck would we serve a Jew? I'm just saying. Just saying. You move.
They'll call us domestic terrorists for standing up for our rights, for doing what needs to be done in this country. I wish I could find the perfect words to convey and make people understand what needs to be done and the problems and issues that we really have. The Democrat and Republican bickering and childish ploys that we see constantly, time and time again, does nothing to further us as a country, as a society. If anything, it hinders us and separates us. We do something radical and revolutionary, something that's never been done. We hire one of us that hasn't been bought out by some billionaire corporation. We elect someone to president that actually wants to work for the people, not these corporations, not people over profit. It's not something that I want to do, but I don't know of any other way to get things done in this country without running for president of the United States and actually enacting things for the people and not hindering the poor, not hurting them more. We all rise together, every color, every creed, and we destroy and dismantle this oligarchy that has conquered the United States and made your constitutional rights absolutely null and void.
Time is now. That time is now.
Flock CEO just called people opposing mass surveillance terrorists, not activists, terrorists. Watch what he has to say.
There's an organization called T.L.R, who are semi-well known now, I guess, if you're interested in this stuff, who take a fairly aggressive approach in terms of counting the number of cameras and having a Discord channel where they talk about potential, activities to move against Flock and stop it expanding.
And then unfortunately there's terroristic organizations like T.L.R, whose primary motivation is chaos. They are closer to Antifa than they are anything else.
When questioning surveillance gets framed as extremism, that's not a PR slip. That's the playbook. Demonize dissent so it never gets debated. Call your critics terrorists so you never have to answer their arguments. Now pay attention to the language, because today it's activists, tomorrow it's anyone who questions what they're selling.
Just think about when you see somebody they're taking their rights away. Think about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how you. But shit, I like thank y'all for coming through. Appreciate y'all showing love. You know what I'm saying? We got how many likes? We got 14 likes in the building. Yeah, I'm coming back at 10. Should be before a little bit. Try to get here before 10 and then go live at 10. But yeah, man. Build in. We're gonna keep it 1,000. Y'all go over to fam, show him the support he needs, you know what I'm saying? Because we're going to keep going. I mean, that's what we do, right? Keep going, y'all. Peace.
Mars.
Only a fool would include his own death as part of a plan. Young lady.
Mars so cold, I think I'm done with ice. Birds, if I leave her, she gon' die. Well, bitch, you done with life. Okay.
And nothing hurts anymore. I feel kind of free. We're still the kids we used to be. I put my to see if I still. And nothing hurts anymore. I feel kind of.
The real flex is how many lives you can positively impact. It's not about cars, clothes, or clout. Influence means nothing if you're not helping somebody to grow. The legacy you leave won't be measured by what you had, but by who you helped. Real power